Hi there, View of Uranus here. Today we're going to talk about that sticky wicket known as the D word. I am talking about diversity. The bane of the existence of Comicsgate. The thing they accuse us of not having. The indictment against us at every turn is that we somehow hate diversity. And that in some way, shape, or form, the fact that it's force-fed into our fiction is, and we're not enjoying it, is our fault. No, I'm not talking about their diversity. I'm not talking about arbitrary or decided upon physical or mental decisions that form identity. Suddenly, today, I am this rare gender. And because of that, I require you to open up every opportunity possible for me because I am what I say I am. If I wasn't, why would I say I am? Oh my god, did I just quote Eminem? Anyway. So, no, I'm talking about true diversity. Now, Martin Luther King Jr., yes, I'm quoting Martin Luther King Jr., get over it. His most famous speech had this concept in it that is the key to true diversity. He said, men should be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, I'm sorry, Martin Luther King Jr., but that's a little problematic, because we just don't believe in that. And while we're a God among men who we honor and whose name we put on everything, I think you missed the boat there, Mr. King. No. He was exactly right. But how does that work? So how do you create characters that have diversity? Well, the first step, you have to become colorblind. And you let the characters determine who they are. Now, we talked earlier about getting yourself out of the way of the creation. Becoming a secretary taking notes rather than the person dictating. Story is king. You need to be as invisible as possible. Get yourself out of it. It's none of your business who or what your characters decide they are. Your job is to write them down as accurately as possible. Now, my comic book script I'm working to perfect right now. Shameless plug. It led me to write a very diverse group of characters. Very organically. Now see, they pretty much sprang from Zeus's forehead, fully formed. Well, not all of them. But as I continue to write, one of them went from white to Mediterranean. Another went from Asian to Jewish. One character that was black from the first is still black, has always been black, and always will be black. He's pretty adamant about that. Fact. It sounds like schizophrenia in a way, but I can tell you when you write a character correctly, they will get pretty insistent of who they are as you go. I mean, one of my characters that I would have never voluntarily written, but is surprisingly enjoyable to write, is a rich, spoiled SJW senator's daughter. But she has been a hoot. She's been my comic relief, and she's been really good at it. And I never expected to like her as much as I do. And as I planned, as the character arcs came to me, she's actually going to become someone very special. And it surprised me because I never thought that I'd grow to like her. But I think by the end of the series, she's going to be very likable indeed. But see, that's who she is. That's who she determined that she is. I had nothing to do with that. So one way you know that you have diversity in your work is the character chemistry. You need differences of opinion, personality clashes, people who have chemistry, and those who develop it over time. See, you need older, younger, rich, poor, straight-laced, criminal, urban, and yes, sorry, city dwellers. There are interesting characters that are rural, and they're not ignorant redneck basket of deplorables. They're actually good people and interesting characters. Now, diversity is not who you create them to be, who being the operating word. If you start out with that as your goal, that I am going to create characters that are diverse, then you will write the most undiverse, boring characters. Because their very inception was not from an act of creation, but it's an act of calculation. You might as well be doing math. Because creation is something a little chaotic, something a little random. True creation is something completely out of your hands. But it's incredible when you do it right. And creation is bringing forth something from nothing. And that nothing includes agenda. I hope that helps. This has been The View of Uranus. Have a nice day.